Good morning. Well, can you believe it? We're coming to an end to Enochian Vision Magic. It was a pretty thick book for morning readings, and it got pretty esoteric there in spots. But I'm sure for many of you it wasn't esoteric enough. So, anyway, we're coming toward the end. We're actually at the epilogue section of the book. And following this is a series of appendices, which, for the most part, aren't really the type of material that is best just to read aloud here on morning readings. But there is important material there, so we'll spend tomorrow and the next day probably at least discussing the various treats that are included in the appendices of the book, and just to make it a little more complete. But anyway, this is how the book proper comes to its conclusion. Epilogue. In the middle of the night. And there's a quote from Douglas Adams. Isn't it enough to see that a garden is beautiful without having to believe there are fairies at the bottom of it too? It's 3:15 a.m. For the last few days, I've arranged to sleep through the afternoon heat of an unseasonably hot late summer so that I may write undisturbed in the cool peace and quiet of the wee hours. This book of magic has taken me much longer to complete than I anticipated. Did I say complete? It's a well-worn cliche that a writer never finishes a work, but merely abandons it. I finally come to the place where I'm ready to abandon this book. For as slim as it is, it might be hard for you to believe that it has dominated my life for nearly 3 years. My publisher expected it in their hands over a year ago, and for their patience I am profoundly grateful. And the publisher is Wiser Books, or Red Wheel Wiser. It's been my publisher since the 90s. This is far from the end of the material, however. I've worked hard and long on the appendices, for which the practicing Enochian magician will likely become the most worn and dog-eared section of the book. As a matter of fact, it's that much of the book. That much. Let's see. I must confess that my attitudes concerning Enochian magic have changed many times over 30 years. And in the 10 years since then, it has also, it's changed more. In the last 30 years, it's been part of my life. My respect for the magical art form, however, has never diminished and has continued to grow unabated. I feel like the musician who is moved to tears by listening to a great symphony, but who can play only a few tunes himself, and those only moderately well. Perhaps you will choose to make Enochian magic a part of your spiritual repertoire. Perhaps you will. In either case, as I abandon this book, it's my sincerest hope that I've been able to help you in some small measure attune your magical ear to the music of the spheres. Adieu. Appendix number 1. The ceremony of preparation. The magician purifies and banishes the temple as he or she has skill to do so. Below is a standard version of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, a ceremony used by many modern magicians. And I'm sure if you'll look on the internet, you can see videos of me performing and demonstrating and explaining the lesser banishing ritual. Touching the foreheads, say ate, or ata, or ato. Pronounce it any way you want. It means thou art. Ate, Malkuth, touching the breast and say Malkuth, or touching the genitals and say Malkuth, the kingdom. Touching the right shoulder, say Ve Gebura, and the power. Touching the left shoulder, say Ve Gedula, and the glory. Clasping the hand in front of the breast, say Le Olam Amen. To the ages, Amen. Turning to the east, make the banishing pentagram, that of earth, with the wand, and say Yehovah. Now that is the banishing pentagram of earth. And for this ritual, you use it in all 4 quarters. It's easy to remember. Turning to the south, again draw the pentagram, but say Adonai, or Lord. Turning to the west, again draw the pentagram and say Ehyeh. Turning to the north, again draw the pentagram, but say Agla. Extend the arms in the form of a cross and say, before me Raphael, behind me Gabriel, on my right hand Michael, on my left hand Uriel. For about me flames the pentagram, and in the column shines a 6-rayed star. Touching the forehead, again say Ate, unto thee. Touching the breast, say Malkuth, the kingdom. Touching the right shoulder, say Ve Gebura, and the power. Touching the left shoulder, say Ve Gedula, and the glory. Clasping the hand upon the breast, say Le Olam Amen. To the ages, Amen. Now please, you don't have to slavishly follow another magician's version of the pentagram ritual. When things make sense to you, do them that way. When the divine names and the archangels make sense to you, use them. It's all in your lap. Ceremony of preparation. The temple. The holy table is set in the middle of the room upon a carpet of red silk. 4 small versions of the Sigillum de Ameth rest under the table legs. In the center of the holy table rests the Sigillum de Ameth, surrounded by the 7 ensigns of creation. All that beautiful stuff is covered and draped by a red silk cloth with gold tassels on the corner. The black mirror, or the scrying crystal, is placed upon the covered Sigillum de Ameth. The ring and lamen are at hand upon the covered table. A chair is positioned before the table so that the face of the scryer may be reflected in the mirror. The chair must also rest upon the red silk carpet. When operating at night or in a dimly lit room, 1 or 2 candles can also be placed upon the covered holy table. The ceremony. After banishing, the magician sits down and prays. Teach me, O Creator of all things, to have correct knowledge and understanding. For your wisdom is all that I desire. Speak your word in my ear, O Creator of all things, and set your wisdom in my heart. Amen. The magician picks up the ring and prays. Behold the ring. Lo, this it is. This is it, wherewith all miracles and divine works and wonders were wrought by Solomon. This is it, which the Archangel Michael hath revealed to me. This is it, which philosophy dreameth of. This is it, which the angels scarce know. This is it, and blessed be his name, yea, his name be blessed forever. Without this I shall do nothing. Blessed be his name that encompasses all things. Wonders are in him, and his name is wonderful. Pele. His name works wonders from generation to generation. Amen. The magician picks up the lammen and prays. Behold the lammen. As the holy table conciliates heaven and earth, let this lammen which I place over my heart conciliate me to the holy table. Amen. The magician then recites 7 complete rounds of the chant of the holy table's perimeter letters. 7 rounds of chanting the Enochian name or the angelic name for each of those letters. I'm not going to do 7 rounds for us in today's demonstration. I'm going to do 1 round so you can hear me do it. I'm starting the letters right here in the upper right-hand corner and moving counterclockwise. So it'd be like Pa, Med, Fam, Med, Drux, Fam, Fam, Ur, Ged, Graf, Drux, Med, Graf, Graf, Med, Med, Ur, Med, Gal, Ged, Ged, Drux. Then coming down this way. Pa, Drux, Tal, Fam, Dan, Ur, Graf, Dan, Ur, Giz, Gon, Med, Ged, Med, Graf, Van, Ur, Dan, Dan, Nun. Pa, Drux, Ur, Dan, Drux, Med, Graf, Graf, Med, Graf, Sef, Ged, Ur, Mals, Fam, Pa, Gon, Med, Graf, Fam, Mals, Tal, Ur, Pa, Drux, Nun, Van, Med, Gon, Drux, Ur. Then the magician chants 7 rounds of the 12 letters of the great central square. I'm only going to do 1 round. Med, Gon, Giz, Dan, Van, Dan, Med, Med, Graf, Dan, Med Don Ur Med Gon Ur Don Don Med Giz Van Ur Graf. So it'd be like this. Med Gon Giz Don Ur Van Ur Don Ur Med Graf Med Don Ur Med Gon Ur Don Med Giz Van Ur Graf. And 7 rounds. The magician chants 7 rounds of the 12 letters of the Holy Table's central square. The magician then chants 1 round of the names of the 49 angels on the Sigillum Deameth. And if you're following along, these names are read in a clockwise whirl from the center, or from the circumference to the center. So as you chant each of those 49 names, you're going like this, a whirl, and then inside that another whirl of angel names, and inside of that another clockwise whirl of angel names, until you come to the very center. And you do that by chanting these names. Galas, Gethog, Thauth, Horlon, Inon, Naoth, Galathog, Zafkael, Zedekiel, Kumael, Raphael, Hanael, Mikael, Gabriel, El, Me, Ese, Iana, Ekele, Ozdobon, Stimkol, Irel, Demal, Hioa, Begia, Stimkol, Ab, Ath, Izad, Ekei, Madimi, Esemeli, An, Ave, Liba, Rokle, Hagonel, Lemes, Sabathiel, Zadkiel, Medimiel, Semeliel, Nogahel, Korabiel, Lavanael. Finally, the magician quietly whispers the holy names of the round table of Nalvage. The first angel names of the corners: Lua. Let's see how we'll do this. Lua, Long, Sach, Urch. Lua, Long, Sach, Urch. Like that. And then the names of the 4 corners, the continents. Yad Mazir, Yad Babsna, Yad Surgru, Yad Serofs. So it's Lua, Lang, Sach, Urch, Yad Mazir, Yad Babsna, Yad Surgru, Yad Serofs. The magician then proceeds to the business at hand, calling an angel of the elemental tablet, or scrying an aether. When the magician's work is done, he or she dismisses the spirit and thanks, and prays this prayer. This is from D. Thy name be mighty, O God, which canst open the veil whereby thy all-powerful will may be opened unto men. Power, glory, and honor be to thee, for thou art the same God of all things, and art life eternal. Amen. And that's where we'll end it today. Tomorrow we'll pick up and discuss the material in Appendix 2, which is the Enochian calls or the keys themselves. I hope you'll be with me tomorrow. Until then, continue to be loving and productive and creative this week. But above all, be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.